and whoever wins this one game, and
Is the winner.
yeah, yeah, and no matter what happened, all the other stuff, this is just one game now, and it was really like tense, and it was a really good game, so that was really cool.
All right.
In the bottom left corner of Circuit Breaker from Team X1 is Balthazar.
In the top right-hand corner of our screen, we have the pink Terran from Best Friends Forever, 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 Forever. It's Scaphism.
Now, some interesting facts now. Yesterday I was streaming for fun, and no, or the day before, I don't remember. And yeah, it was yesterday, I think, whatever. And Scaphism actually did a best of 3 versus Balthazar, which he won 2-1, and he only went Bio versus Protoss all 3 games because he's testing that out. So he said himself afterwards that Bio isn't really that viable, that Balthazar just made some mistakes. But it's gonna be interesting to see if he's gonna throw in Bio at least one of these games. Because he had some success with it versus Balthazar yesterday. So it's kind of like a grudge match here, I feel.
All right, so what would be our first indicator of a potential mech play from Scaphism? Like, if you want to play mech, what do you have to do?
You gotta get gas, but there's also the Reaper opening, which is very common, where you also get gas at the exact same time. So it's actually kind of hard to tell from just the very opening, which is very interesting. If it wasn't for the Reaper, you could tell it a lot easier. So that makes it a little bit more difficult for Protoss player to react properly.
So usually Reaper openings will not go into mech, you're saying?
No,
it
Reaper
generally doesn't have
yeah, well, yeah, that's actually true though. Reaper openings could also go into mech. But Reapers are generally worse versus Protoss. Like, Dragoons deal with Reapers so much better than any of the other early units from the other races.
Yeah, and they can get up pretty quickly, as we can see the Cybernetics Core already on the way, just a, half a minute or so away from completing. Then the Dragoon is another 45 seconds, and by the time you get a Reaper out there, the Dragoon's going to be ready. It's going to be able to deal with it pretty easily.
Yeah, we did see yesterday though, I think it was, I'm trying to remember if it was these 2 people playing, but he went for a lot of Reapers, and here's the first Reaper actually. And the Reapers have an upgrade that gives him a bomb that does 45 damage, so it one-shots workers, and it does splash damage too. So it feels like a Scarab, an early game Scarab kind of. And he got like a lot of those bombs off without his opponent noticing, and he killed like tons of workers. It was pretty epic.
Yeah, Reaper really micro-intensive. Going to be going directly into the Marine after that, followed up by the Factory.
Yeah, so this is going to be
the
mech.
Dragoon isn't going to be ready.
This is going to be mech, but it's going to be like mind game mech because it looks like Bio. So his opponent might think it's Bio, and he played a lot of Bio yesterday versus him, so this is a little bit of mind games going on right now. Because you don't usually get Reaper into mech, to be honest, or maybe I'm just completely noob when it comes to Terran versus Protoss.
Right. So what kind of scouting options does the Protoss player have at this point? Like, when is he going to be able to see that this is mech?
I guess it's going to be hard. Well, he's probably going to... Well, he knows about the Reaper now, so Dragoons are going to be very defensive for a long time. But sooner or later, he's going to start pushing out the Dragoons, and then he'll probably see it. But it's going to be a very interesting... This is a very interesting and a very common push for Terran to use, but I don't know if it's going to work now that he went Reaper first. But what a lot of Terrans do is they basically make a small group of Marines, like about 5 or so, and they make... Okay, no, it's not going to be the push, but whatever. They make a couple of siege tanks, and then they just make a ton of ultras, and they research spider mines. But he's researching siege mode, so this is just super defensive. Probably.
Yeah, so Terran versus Protoss stays on one base for quite some time. Is this a normal thing, or you think you'd attribute it to the map or something like that?
It's more common now than it was before, actually, because there was a player who discovered how incredibly good early game stalkers are in this matchup, and going for like a really quick command center just got wrecked by early like 3-gate stalker rush. So now they have to be a little bit more careful. And there's also the Sentinel opening, which makes it difficult to go for super early expands. So this is more common now to go for like a 1 factory expand.
Cool.
And you see that this group of units can chase away like Dragoons so easily. 2 siege tanks and these Marines, just there's nothing these Dragoons can do versus that.
Absolutely. Gonna be coming out here, pushing out, likely taking the expansion.
Indeed.
Gonna be able to get some... Oh wow, nice micro, doesn't even get the worker kill. Oh, still doesn't get any kills.
Very
That's
nice.
funny.
Very nice micro from Scaphism. Okay, there's gonna be a little bit of spoiler now, so if you're gonna turn off the volume now. Team Bestest Friends did play a Clan Wars versus Team Axiom, and I have casted some of those games, although Husky is still gonna cast them as well for a little bit more broader audience than myself. And Scaphism did, in fact, take a game off of the Axiom player he was playing versus. So he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, man, that's pretty awesome. Considering how much mechanical skill this game takes, you're going against pros. Just because they're not playing Starbow, it doesn't mean they're going to be bad. As a matter of fact, they're usually going to be pretty good because of the mechanical requirement to play this game.
Did I just get warned on Team Liquid for doing something? What?
Happens. You'll be okay.
Why did I get warned? Okay, I just haven't done anything. I wrote Kappa.
Wait, that's so weird. You got warned on for doing something on a website and you didn't do anything wrong? I don't know anything about that. It's so weird. That's so weird. I don't get it. I don't even get it. That never happens.
No, this isn't... No, okay, it's the old Kappa warn. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, I thought I got warned, like, recently. Like, just, like, today or something. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I did get warned once just for writing Kappa, so, yeah. I'm never gonna write Kappa again, I guess. Well, in Twitch chat, probably, but...
Yeah, Twitch chat, Kappa, Team Liquid, nope. Team Liquid wants your substance. But yeah, so we got very defensive posturing for our mech player here. Just finished up. What was that? The upgrade for the spider mines.
Yeah, it's just called spider mines. It's very original. Now, Balthazar is taking a very early third, which is completely normal versus this very turtle-ish style of Scaphism. I'm still gonna be like, if Scaphism wins this game, it's going to be very interesting to see if he goes Spire for the next one. Now, this is an interesting fact about Balthazar. Unlike Dragonite we saw last game, Balthazar has a tendency to keep making drones all game long. No matter, I mean probes, of course. No matter how many probes he has. I've seen him have 103 probes in Starbow.
Oh, wow.
Reaver drop, sorry, I should pay attention to that.
Absolutely. He's got the tank in good position. He's got a missile turret right next to it.
But
so
he's got zealots to take the first shots. Oh, did he even get one shot off? No, it's just splash damage from the siege tank doing damage right now. He saved a zealot though. That's pretty nice. I mean, a zealot.
Yeah. pretty good positioning over here. He's trying to make something happen, but quite difficult. Oh, the Reaver could get in on the corner, but yeah, it looks like he's gonna be floating around trying to find another angle. Nice repair on the siege tank. Quick hit. I love the micro. I love the warp prism. Oh, picks it up just as the projectile goes out. That is so much fun.
And also, warp prisms have an acceleration in Starbow that they don't have in StarCraft 2, which means that if you keep moving it, you're going to be more effective with it than if you just let it sit still. So he keeps moving it while his units are dropped, and that's really like the sign of a very good micro, because then it's, since the acceleration is a little bit slow, you get out of there faster that way. Oh, it's going to deny some factories. That's really nice. And it's so hard to deal with this as a meching player because you have to unsiege and re-siege, and it's just so tedious and annoying, but he has to get out of there before he loses it to the Goliath. Quickly boost the... Oh no, that's the medevac, never mind.
Yeah, so looking pretty solid over here. A little bit of harass. For us players up in a base, which makes sense with this turning play. Now, I'm assuming that we have some sort of a build-up. The mech player builds a certain army onto bases and is going to push out, or... is going to just use like more positioning to take it third? Like when is the mech strong enough to actually go out on the map and do something other than defend?
It's quite normal. I've seen a lot of 4 or 5 factory pushes off of 2 bases, but this is not what's happening this game because he started his command centers and he's staying on 3 factories. So he's just going to keep turtling for a long time. He's going to go for probably like 150 or 130 supply push. You don't really go for a max push in Starbow just because that takes forever, but he's probably going to have +1, which will take like 3 minutes until he has it. So we're probably not going to see Scaphism move out with the brute force for a very long time, but he might just try and sneak out some vultures right now, actually. Oh,
nice. A little chance here for their mech player to get some action out on the map.
It's very good
really
for us
cool
casters too, so we don't have just to talk about how defensive it is.
So basically, this is mech, because mechanical units, and those are spider mines. Yeah, cool. Some bit of harass in here. Wow,
oh, very nice.
This is really cool. Nice positioning. He's gonna have. He's gonna be able to do whatever he wants to all of these workers, which is quite scary. The only thing for defense is this one dragoon. Some stuff starting to pop out now.
Oh,
got the spider mines in place. He uses splash damage.
Oh, the mine goes up and it goes down, he loses the target. The dance of the spider mines! No, never got off really. And for guys seeing that and say that was a bug, that is not a bug. What happened there is that the spider mine had a target, the target disappeared, and then he had to find a new target, and he goes up and down between each target in exactly the same invert bar. But
Yeah,
we see
really cool.
Balthazar having a hard time dealing with this. Oh, okay, that is a bug. Why? Oh, there we go. Okay, that was really weird.
Alright,
Spider mines are tripping, man.
before you look, guess the number of workers killed.
Oh, 31. Oh,
I
yes.
said before looking. Oh, you
I
cheater.
thought you said please
You're
look
a
at the
cheater.
numbers. I thought you said please look at the
You're a
number of
cheat.
workers killed. But you know, Scaphism's like, you know, that worked really good. Let's send out another group. Let's see what we can do again.
Absolutely. He's got his third command center up now, and it is turning into the orbital, sending across another unit. The third is pretty vulnerable right now, and he's going to be going for it. A couple of shots wasted over here on the Nexus itself. No spider mines thrown down yet. Looks like he can just fight this out, or at least he seems to. Nice bit of spider mine
They
damage there.
acted normally, I'm glad to see that. But what's kind of funny though, and this is actually hilarious, like he's killed now 37 workers. And if you look at the number of workers that they have, it's about the same because Balthazar, he makes probes, man. That's what he does. And what someone pointed out in chat too, I once casted a game where all in all, the whole game long, he made 400 probes. I'm not kidding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
Well, it's good to beat Balthazar in this situation here. But those vultures are still dealing damage. He's actually microing a battle up at the top, so he's missing a lot of this vulture damage. So many workers being killed off. But still, no third for Scaphism. He's starting to run out. He's very low in his main. He's going to need to take this third very soon. It looks like he has a good position. He'll be able to hold on to it and take it. Might have to unsiege that tank and move it out of the way. But we'll see how that works
He
out.
needs some spider mines in the front though. He's good at placing them in his opponent's mineral lines, but he needs some defensive spider mines as well. He doesn't really have that many vultures, and that's always a big question for a meching Terran is how many vultures do I harass with? Like, because if you bring too many, you don't have anything to go with your army, and if you bring too few, you might not do any damage. So I remember that was a problem in Bird War as well. Some Bird War players would be like, always bring like 12 vultures, or a lot of them, but some would just bring a very small group and try to be very effective with that. Ooh, this warp prism might go down. No, it's gonna stay alive. He uses that observer ability, I like that. He's gonna scan and try and snipe the observer anyway. No, he doesn't see it. And Dragoons are gonna do some damage, but this is a very difficult position for Balthazar to attack into. This is gonna be very brutal.
Oh man, his tanks are glitching out over on the side. He really wanted to get them over a lot faster than this. The Dragoons aren't going to be able to finish this off, but they've done a decent amount of damage to the army. The economy remains safe, and he'll be escaping out of that western side. But yeah, a lot of his tanks were over defending the other area, so he couldn't quite crush that quite as cleanly as he wanted to. But he's still in pretty good shape. He's got his 2 base economy, basically. No, he's still at 3 base economy for a couple hundred minerals left. And, you know, Balthazar, maker of probes, champion of macro, is building a 5th base.
Definitely. It's his second mineral only. He has so many workers that he can just let 8 of them stay idle. Okay, now they start working. The thing about what just happened there is like Balthazar did that push. It was kind of unnecessary. It didn't accomplish anything except his opponent lost some tanks and he lost a lot of Dragoons. But his position right now is just, he can afford losing some Dragoons. He can't lose too many, but he can afford to lose some.
Yeah, it almost feels Zergy to me, the way he's just doing a lot of engagements in this beginning area during that towards that third, and the 4th is going down. Is Balthazar going to realize what's going down? Does he have any kind of response? Mostly Dragoons on the field right now.
Pretty sure he's trying to get arbiters up in a while. Arbiters are going to be important here, and we also have a tank drop going down from Scaphism, and this is going to be... Oh, he's actually going to go for this base without knowing that there's a 5th base on the way, which he could more easily harass from the high ground there. And he is researching gravity lifters, which makes the dropship able to lift up siege tanks, which is kind of cool.
That is really sweet. I'd definitely be interested in seeing some of that micro happen.
That's something for a Starbow fast fact sometime.
Yeah, for sure. And here we are. We've got the siege tanks in a nice little corner here. They're not.
And Balthazar denying this 4th base a little bit. It's gonna eventually get up though. He lost some Dragoons in the process. And these siege tanks can like shoot 2 bases at once, man. They're hero siege tanks. And once they're under attack, you can pick them up if he pays attention.
Oh,
gets
no,
one
he
of them.
ends up missing it. He does boost out of there. Love the boost. Very much fun. Getting that fourth base up and running is still a little bit difficult. The transfer finally happening, that gas coming down. And I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption that gas is as important to mech as it is in StarCraft 2 and Brood War. That gas, going to be a limiting factor in Scaphism's ability to make the units that he needs.
Definitely, it's super important, and I think your chair or something agrees. I don't know what that's
the closing of the door to go outside from my
yes,
roommate.
The door agrees. It nods in agreement. So actually, okay, here's the timing. Like I said, okay, it was 168 supply, but Scaphism saying, I have a big army now. I go kill my opponent. It's like Mother Russia almost. And big army go out. And let's see. Okay, that was. I wasn't gonna say even what that sounded like because. Anyway.
Well, we have a massive Dragoon army. As far as things that are on the way, we have 2 Stargates, so potentially some Arbiters coming in. In the meantime, though, this mech army is pulling out. A lot of this is going to be about positioning. If Scaphism gets in the wrong position at the wrong time, these observers being really helpful, he knows he's out. He's going to move in and try to take this planetary fortress with the siege tanks. And in the meantime, we have a bit of a base trade going on, not as far as the game goes, but they will be trading bases if he decides to go on this. Really great positioning of those supply depots. Really great play there.
Balthazar can break that, and Balthazar's defenses of his own are just a little bit too late, and he's definitely going to lose this base. But in the meantime,
amazing play from Scaphism here.
Well, it is, but he's putting himself in a very interesting position now where Balthazar can surround his opponent's army quite easily, and he might just sacrifice his army to do so, and he just has to pray and hope that he can kill as much army of Balthazar as possible with this, or else it might be a foolish sacrifice, and those zealot bombs are really good, well placed.
Oh my god, no, why did he siege up? Oh, the zealots, they were like preemptive zealot bombs. Oh, that was so sad. Oh, all of the siege tanks dying in one critical misstep. Scaphism is in big trouble right now. Not swearing is difficult at this point in time for me to do. My god.
This is why you space up siege tanks and not put them together in a clump.
And he was actually fine. Like the zealot bombs were in position where they actually wouldn't hurt anything at all. And then he sieged up and wiped out his own tank line. And it was like, oh god.
And behind this, we have 2 Arbiters and Stasis incoming, 2 at a time, so this is going to be very rough. Like, this was kind of Scaphism's time. This was his timing. This was his moment to shine.
He needed to get some damage done, and just about none was the amount of damage that he did, which is slightly less than some. And that's going to be a little problem for him, because, it's what is he going to do now? It's going to be this massive army. He's down 40 supply, and Balthazar's just kind of pushing in here.
Yeah, he doesn't really
forget the power of the siege tank. He's going to have to engage this correctly. He's going to have to be very smart about the way he engages this. Otherwise, he will be able to turn that advantage right back around into the favor of Scaphism. But he's clearing out some mines. He's being careful. He's going to have to pick the right engagement here. Resieging is Scaphism into a position that'll cover both entrances to his base.
It's very interesting, though. I was about to say that Balthazar stopped making probes already at 65 workers, but the reason for that is just simply his maxed. So he can't make any more. But he's
actually what the mass worker count might even be hurting him. He's building up quite a bit of a bank, but the issue is that he doesn't really have that big of an army.
Well, Balthazar has a big army, actually, because he doesn't have that many probes, but he doesn't have a very powerful army because it's mostly just Dragoons, and he's starting to kill his own zealots. Okay, that was just random.
Misclick. I think it was just one.
Yeah, it was just misclick. He doesn't want to free up supply, I think, yet. He's not in that good of a position, but these Arbiters are going to make a huge difference, especially if Scaphism keeps clumping up his units, and these War Prison might just die. No, he's going to try and get out of there. I think he has speed.
It seems to be going quite fast. Hopefully. He's got, yes.
That's a good observation.
He's got the Arbiters in position, still building up energy, not quite enough for the stasis yet.
Got EMP on the way.
Nice concave setup from Scaphism here. It's going to be really difficult to push into this. He is finding the weak spot. The siege tanks over here are unsieged. No Widow mines, Vulture mines in place. Whatever kind of mines they are.
Oh, the stasis!
Man,
Stasis in there.
Coming in. He's going to be picking apart this force, dropping the Zealot Bomb. Really great engagement. Reinforcements coming in from Scaphism, but it isn't going to be enough. This stasis is lasting a long time. The entire army of Scaphism is being completely demolished here. There's almost no hope for him to return. Only a couple of siege tanks in the background, a couple of siege tanks at the watchtower. This army has been completely wiped out. My god, stasis lasts forever.
Yes, it does last a long time, and I'm so glad you casted that so well, because I was so focused on trying to zoom in and out, because this battle was so big I couldn't catch it all without zooming out. And he's gonna leave those tanks alive down there. That's kind of odd. He could have easily surrounded them and killed them when the stasis finished.
Yeah, it may have been a little bit of overconfidence from him. Right now, as far as he's building his Zealous Dragoon and Arbiters, he's getting that going on. Is that an EMP?
Yeah. You know, want to see a funny little bug? Pay close attention next time a Goliath dies. It becomes tiny right before it dies. It's like, I think the death model for the Goliath has like some odd size issues in the editor. Anyhow, these Dragoons are actually not going to accomplish that much. Sure, they kill a lot of units, and they're going to get recall out of there, which is nice, and that's probably a rift from a Nexus, I assume. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, I don't know what was going through his mind there, where he didn't finish off the, like, basically free army in the middle. I mean, I think a little bit overconfidence, thinking that he could push through to win the game, but Scaphism holds on with the aid of those units in the back. Zealots coming in here, really good position. Oh, the splash damage is so painful. The friendly fire.
Balthazar can kind of afford to do this and keep trading gateway units for mech units just because of his incredible economy at this time, but Scaphism has been able to very slowly expand though, and this is actually the bane of Protoss, is that the Protoss takes the entire map, just empties all the resources, and commits a lot of non-cost effective commitments, while the Protoss player very cautiously expands and ends up just taking the game because he eventually will have more resources. So we're gonna have another stasis, not this big of a stasis
Not
this
really
time.
hitting as well as he wanted to. He is going to move in any case. He's going to be dropping the Zealot bombs, attacking with the Dragoons. A couple of Goliaths here trying to help out, and I think he's managed to do it again.
Yeah, I think he did it. There we go.
Oh yeah, there it is. There's the G.